am so happy because we finally get to do an episode in Korea.
Oh, that's true.
And you're the first guest
Yay!
who's from Korea
Yeah.
and is Korean.
Who speaks English though?
You guys, if you've seen any of those videos on the internet that says Koreans meet XXX culture for the first time or tried this for the first time, you see, cross cultures happening online. The man behind it all is PD Junho.
Well, not all, but
Almost all.
not all. Okay. So depends on how long I worked on each channel.
Wait, okay. What were you like growing up? Like, how'd you end up, did you grow up abroad or?
I think we had this conversation before.
We didn't.
At the set, I like to make people guess my nationality, actually.
You sound Canadian for some reason.
This is so crazy. No.
No?
No, why do I sound Canadian? Okay, the problem is I had a very thick American accent, but after I started hanging out with British people and like people from all over the world, I tend to adapt the accent that I hang out with mostly. Mm-hmm. And what's really ironic is it also applies on what Netflix series I watch. If I watch American Netflix series, my thick American accent comes back. Mm-hmm. But if I watch like Sex Education from the UK or Dairy Girls, I have like the weird cling of I adapt the weird bits, and then there's the Aussie accent that comes out of nowhere. So right now, since I haven't been in the States for a while, my accent has just changed into a mixture. So people assume if I'm from Canada or sometimes Australia or New Zealand, which is quite fascinating yet annoying. Because their accents are not really known to be delightful.
And I guess then you're classified as more of like an international person.
I guess. Well, yeah, because I'm not actually American. I just lived in the States for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so my dad wanted to study his master's degrees at quite a late age, which was very grateful for me because in the end, I got to pick up the language while living in the States.
Yeah.
I was in the States for about 5 years. My elementary school life was from the States. I came back to Korea, and I lived in Korea since. Yeah.
Wow. And you graduated high school, everything, uni here?
Yeah, middle, high school, uni, all Korea. I first started off with, I don't know if I could say this, but it was World Friends for 6 to 8 months, I think. Almost a year.
I mean, it's on your CV, so I think you could
no,
say
yeah,
it.
No, that's true. I can't. So anyway, well, not all, but I picked up World Friends, I think, in year 2022, like from October, and then to 2023 July.
Okay.
And August, like till that point, I was on World Friends, and then from July 2023. To July 2024, I was on Awesome World.
So much world.
Yeah, that's why when I worked with 2 channels, there was a time when I worked 2 channels at the same time. Yeah. So we would say Awesome World Friends.
Yeah. Why do you need to?
Yeah. So it was really confusing for me at some point. But yes, I worked in those 2. Well, I worked more than those 2 channels actually, but those 2 channels were my main.
Okay.
And I really grown into filming videos that's culture exchange actually.
Yeah, and it's so popular on the internet. Like everyone knows as like, oh, it's the cultural exchange. Like it mainly happens from Korea because we don't see most of these coming out of other countries, or the most recent ones I think are like not most recent, but the most known ones would probably be from Jubilee or like other channels like that.
Yeah, so Jubilee does a lot of those kind of content, and now there's, I think it's called NDL.
Yeah.
They also do it, the guys from Veda Squad. I really love watching them. It's interesting how they twisted the content that has been out into their own style.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. And there's actually quite a lot, but it doesn't really have the taste that how Koreans make it, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. And how did you end up coming into this? Like,
it's actually quite funny. My major was international studies.
Okay.
And that's why I speak English, I would say. Because when I was in middle and high school, I haven't really spoken English, so I had the accent, but I couldn't have the words. So the words didn't come out as fluently as it is now. And then I went to university, and all my classes were in English. So it was really difficult for me to follow up that skill, but in about a year, it just grew.
Yeah.
And then I've always also wanted to work on the entertainment industry. So one of my friends, actually, there's a whole story behind this, but I'll shorten it out. My friend was like, Junho, you should start editing videos and post it on like TikTok, because I have a way of speech that's kind of hilarious to friends. So I learned how to do it, and in about 3 months, I kind of grew. I had like my own fan base, I would say.
Wow.
I had a group of people who I would like go on live with, and after the live, we would go on Zoom calls, talk till like 3 to 4 a.m. So I won't say they're fans, but I made a good friend group in that sense, because I'm not a celebrity, so it's kind of cringy for me to say fans. But I did get like presents for my birthday.
But that was like your pre-moment. That was
yeah. So my friends keep saying try to accelerate that into
Yeah.
like a career, but then I had to finish my university, so it was kind of difficult for me to maintain the best of both worlds. So I decided to finish my university first and then decide. But at my last semester, I have already wrote my CV in the past, and one of my hube,
Junior.
my juniors, he was like, "Hey, I don't know like which company I should go to." So I was like, "Hey, did you write a CV?" And he says, "No, where do I write a CV?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're a junior in college. Have you not heard about Saramin, which is the Korean version of LinkedIn?" And he goes, "No, what is it?" So I show him my account, and I show him all the things I wrote so far, because I update it every year, so I won't forget what I've done. And I tell him, like, and if you put all the things that you are, which area that you're interested in working on, it will automatically match and pair you up. And I was like, see, look, 98% match. I looked at it, I read it, and I'm like, oh, it is a 98% match. So, and he's like, how do you apply then? I was like, okay, so this is how you apply. Because I already wrote my stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, do you think they're going to give you a call back? I was like, not really, because I didn't have my profile picture, because in Korea, that's important. And I didn't really make it as professional. It was just like a rough draft.
So you just randomly just applied to something.
And then that was World Friends. That's how I got my first job. And in Korea, thankfully, there's something called 취업계, which means if you get a job at your end of the semester, you could negotiate with your professors for a grade. So some professor would say, because you got a job, I'll give you a B+, but write a paper or something like that. And then they would put that into account for your graduation.
And do you still have to like attend classes and stuff?
No, but that depends on the professor. Like, you don't have to attend the class, but you have to come for middle and finals. Or you could just write a paper and she would grade that as like a C+ or a B-, just to be fair.
Because you're securing a job already. Wow.
So I learned that we had that policy in Korea, and I used that to take
your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's how I started the job. It was really hard at first because my major was international studies, so cultural exchange was a thing.
Yeah.
But that I know a lot of. But it was really difficult to navigate the edits and how to make it more interesting and more appealing. So I did struggle a lot at start, yeah. But that's how I started.
And it was only like, so basically you graduated in 2021?
No. I graduated in 2023.
Okay.
Sorry, so yeah, I started 2023 October.
Okay.
Sorry, if I said 2022, that was a mistake. But I started in 2023 October.
Yeah.
Graduated in 2020. Oh wait, no, sorry, 2022 October. I forgot it was 2025. I'm sorry, But yeah, 2022 October.
Time flies.
It does. So 2022 October, and I graduated on 2023 February.
Like the springtime.
The springtime, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I know. And it's really surprising how that one click changed everything. Because I actually, a fun story behind it, when I got accepted for World Friends, I also applied for an internship in the UN that's based in Jeju Island.
Wow. And
I got both of them.
Oh no.
No, I did. I got both of them at the same time.
And you chose World Friends.
I did because one.
And
That proves I'm not stupid. Let's start with that.
oh. Why? What drew you closer to World Friends then?
Well, I actually had a very long conversation with my parents regards to this, and I had talked with my friends a lot. And my friends were saying I would go to UN. Like if my friends would like if I were you, I would have chose UN. But my parents were like, if I were you, I would have chose World Friends. Not because World Friends was big. It wasn't big back then. It was like when I first got there, it was about like 500 to 600K. And so it wasn't really as big as it is now. But she said because it's a secure job. And the other one's internship.
Yeah.
So she's like, if you finish internship and you have to live in Jeju Island for 4 months, what do you think is better? Like having a job and being stable, or just having an internship for 4 months and then live in Jeju Island with not great amount of money? Because UN internship, I don't know if you know, it's not really paid.
Yeah, mostly it's like voluntarily and like.
But luckily, the one I did was paid. So I was like, but I'm still getting paid, and it's really hard to find a paid UN internship. Sorry. But my mom and dad said, go to Seoul. I think it would be better. And I do also have, part of me is kind of like, what would my life have been if I chose UN? So, but do I regret it? Not really. But yeah.
I think your parents were right for that, because ultimately the entire goal of going to uni is essentially landing a job, I think, by your 3rd year, if you get it. And that is such it's a huge deal.
It was a very huge deal, yeah. And I was one of the first who actually got a job amongst my friend group. So, and
it's a very rare case.
Yeah, but it was really hard for me to adjust that in a year I gained 20 kilos. Really, like I had to like be in it. I finished work like very late. Not because the company told me to. This was all voluntarily because I needed to learn. Yeah.
Wow. And I think, okay, so if you guys don't know how I exactly met PD, basically Yuki Didi, or Yuki says, she said that, oh, there's someone, Awesome World is looking for an Indian who is culturally, like, it doesn't significantly look like an average, stereotype of an Indian. So that's how I came into the picture. And I went on set, I met PD, and yeah, that changed a lot.
that helped you. That helped you win?
Not really. If anything, it just kind of twisted my whole identity.
That's crazy. The thing is, this is my personal take on our Korean culture, I would say. Korea in the Western world is known to be very homogenous.
Yeah. And
I do understand it because we are now getting in the chance of opening up to new culture more. Because, K-pop is going worldwide. There are more Koreans who live abroad and bringing out the Western culture in Korea. But most of the people that I've worked so far who is working for the global audience, they don't really know much about the Korean culture. So every time I shoot and that gets approved is mostly the typical Indian idea that people have around the world. But as you know me, at shoot, when I'm shooting, I will be dead ass. Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
I'll be dead ass serious and be like, no, out. And then like.
Yeah, you're in your zone.
Like, yeah, apparently my friends are kind of surprised when I get into my zone. Some actually get intimidated because they've never seen this side of me. But after the shoot, I would chat with you guys. I even shot
Yeah,
reels with you
guys.
guys.
Oh my God, I'll just pop it up right now. You see that?
That's crazy. Not a lot of producer does that, but I like to interact with you guys because when I shoot, I would like to make the setting more in a frenzy vibe because we're playing a game. If I become uptight and become serious too much, then you can't really be yourself. So like I talk, and that's how I got close with Yuki and a lot of the cast members. And whenever I talk with them, I learn more about the country. And what really fascinated is you guys had like about 22, 23 different dialects, accents. Sorry, languages, right?
Almost 28 different states.
20 different states.
Yeah.
Sorry, 20 different states, 22 or 23 different languages, I think.
Yeah.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah, and if you can add the dialects in it, it expands a little more. I think that was really fascinating. And the fact that there's you guys divide your country into North India, South India, Northeast India, the West.
Yeah.
And it's different in each area. Like, the customs are different.
Yeah.
And if I go a little bit more deeper, maybe like the Hindi gods that you guys, that is praised, is all different from
religion, everything.
So I think it's really fascinating to dive into that a little bit more. So when I got to a point where I could actually make more choices on my own, that's when I'm like, okay, North and South Indian. So we found the South Indian. And then in the comments, like, there's Northeast. You're from Northeast. Right? There's Northeast Indians as well. Where's Northeast Indians? I'm like, find me one then. Like, do you know how hard it is to find a Northeast Indian? It's hard because it's really hard to cast people. It's really hard. It's not as easy as it sounds. Like, if I had the time to cast people for about a month, maybe it would be easier. But in my previous job, I recently left. In my previous job, I had to upload a video every 2 days or every 3 days, which means I have to shoot every week, which means I have to cast everyone. Like,
and the crazy thing is you're down to like the nitty-gritty, as in the group chats, the communications. Like, you're handling everything.
I had to do the whole thing. I had to edit, I had to handle, I had to get the phone call, I had to persuade, I had to contact the idol teams to get their consent to shoot this video. It was so that's why when I saw, but where's Northeast Indians? I'm like, girl, please give me time. Like, please give me time. And then so I told Yuki that I really want to meet Northeastern Indians because apparently the ethnicity is more closer towards the Northeast Asia, where we're from. And she said, like, people there look not like the typical Indians.
Oh, we camouflage.
That people assume.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, really? I wonder how she looks like. And she sent me a photo. I'm like, you sure she's not Korean or Chinese or Japanese? Because I'm like, I don't see no Indian there.
Exactly. And it was the perfect bait.
And then so that's what, you know what? That's perfect. So I got you, I got a Pakistani girl, and I got an Iranian girl, and an Indonesian girl, just to spice things up a little bit. And I don't know if I told you this, there's a little BTS about it. So when, I think it was All Hours, when they were shooting, I asked the manager who was in charge of All Hours, because he was also like thinking behind the camera. I was like, So I quietly came up to him and I was like, who do you think is the Indian? And he goes, I think it's number 3, which was the Pakistani girl.
Oh, Iranian, no?
No. Oh, wait, sorry, Iranian girl.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it's number 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's number 2. And he was shocked as well.
Yeah.
He was like, what? And it was I had to cut some things off because I thought it could have been controversial, but it was mostly like them being, you're not Indian. Because they said it so much. Like, I cut, like, if they said it 10 times, I cut it to 3. Because they were shocked.
Definitely. No, they were, like, when we had the raw footage.
And I think that's actually when I learned Ganges River is called Ganga River.
Ganga, yeah.
And you kept saying Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. And since we didn't know that it was called Ganga in India, they were like, you're lying. You're lying.
I even said, like, the food name, and they were like,
you studied.
Yeah, you studied this. You know
your
what
geography.
You're saying.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. So for me, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I was learning more because I think most of the Indians who came to the show, they said Ganges River so that we could all understand. You're the first who said Kanga. And Yuki, I realized Yuki also said Kanga, but then she also said Ganges at the same time. And I realized later on I cut the Ganga part because I didn't know what it was. You know, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, but yeah. Everyone in the comment section was like, she's the first person who pronounced it as Ganga. And the thing is, I know about Ganges, but I'm not used to saying it, so I'm not confident in saying, oh, Ganges River. Like, I never really said that, even when I was studying in, like, an Indian curriculum. Oh. So we would only say Ganga, Ganga. And it's in the national anthem, so I don't, like,
it's
really
in
have...
the national anthem.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
So it was like an accident on the minute, you know, like...
No, but I think it was the perfect thing because even when I was producing it, I was like, what is Ganga River? Is she trying to trick everybody? Like, really, that on that spot, I was a bit like that a little bit.
But it was such a fun episode.
It really was. I really enjoyed it. I actually left, I think, a month or 2 after that episode.
No.
Because that was on May, right?
Yeah.
I left in July 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, so... am I sad that I left? Yes, a little bit, but I felt like it was the time.
It was a long journey.
It was, I think, 1.5 year journey, and I wanted to try something new.
Okay.
So, like, new type of programs, because, you know, it's better to learn. So I moved, and I'm currently focused on K-pop idol videos, actually.
You guys.
But I do want to start my type of culture exchange video again.
Yeah.
So I'm actually planning on doing it. So please follow up to see what's happening.
Yeah. A lot of my friends that were finding the culture exchange videos were during this period that you joined.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, though. Like, I think in any industry, the company itself doesn't really like to acknowledge as much. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
As in, like, so when I started World Friends, it was, I think, 50, 60-ish, and I made it to 90-something, and I passed it on. So that means, like, 300,000 people came in after me. So in about, like, 6-month range, which is, I think, is a huge change.
It's big.
It's big. And I didn't know that many people watched it enough, because no one told me that they watched my videos. But the YouTube industry in Korea is very scary. Like, the results are important, and not all of my video had good views. There are many that had good views, but they're not as much as the company wants. So they kind of diminish your achievements sometimes. But yeah, they actually, like, praise it, but they were also kind of afraid to be like, oh my God, you're good, because I do understand them, because you have to be humble in YouTube. Yeah. And I really, really, really do understand them, because if you get too cocky, that means it's not gonna go anywhere. So the company kept kind of, like, diminishing some things that were really, for me, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But I respect that.
I think that's something that just constantly happens in anything that's related to the entertainment industry. Because if you see, like, an overlap, like right now you said you were working with idols. I think even when there's a celebrity persona, you could be down to, like, a media presenter. I don't think you will ever be fully pushed up to the top and like, oh yeah, you did this. You
But-
know, they always like,
No, but
Calm down.
I did get praise for my series called the telephone game. I don't know if you remember.
the telephone game.
You know, like you put a,
Ah, yes,
the-
yes.
So I won't say I made the game. I didn't make the game. I added up some ideas into that video, and that series was praised.
There's this thing that I saw. Artists are thieves. So I think every good idea or every good project that comes out is honestly essentially just learning from things that are around you. So it's valid completely.
So before stepping into this business or dabbling into this business, because I don't know, it's like it's getting into my third year. I'm not like 10 year of experience, but before I got into this business, I thought creativity. Everything has to be original. Everything has to be new. Da 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 da. But if you think about it, YouTube has lowered the bars for people to make media or videos. So every minute, people are uploading videos. So in a day, I would argue like 1 billion video comes up on YouTube, which means all the idea that you're thinking of in your brain is in YouTube. Just Google what you think might be on YouTube. Pretty sure something similar will be there. And from that, you can learn. Like, oh, this kind of video didn't work. This kind of video is like da-da-da-da. So you get a reference. Now, for the telephone game, can you guess what my reference for that telephone game was from?
I remember when I was really into K-pop, when Bangtan TV was still on, they did play somewhat of a similar game, but it was called
그 침묵 고요 속의 외침, something like that.
yeah, like sort of like
Silence.
Chinese whisper.
So how Korean 그 idol broadcasting do is they would make them say, let's say 치즈김밥, like 치즈김밥.
Oh yeah.
And then this is actually from Twice, but that wasn't the reference that I got it from. No, it was actually from a Japanese program that was aired in the early 2000s.
Wow, 2000s.
Early, I think. Or like I think it was early, like, or early 2010-ish areas. It was an old video. And so how this happened was there is a group called TOZ.
TOZ.
Yeah, they are an amazing band. I really loved working with them. And they're all Japanese members. So the first time I had a K-pop group that was consistent of 4 Japanese nationalities and one was half Filipino. But he had a Japanese nationality. So they were considered K-pop group with Japanese background.
Oh.
With no Koreans in it. But I got there, but they approached to me somehow saying that they want to be on Awesome World. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I try to look for some things, and I realized, oh, wait, Japanese people are famous for their English.
Okay.
For bad pronunciation.
Yeah.
Right? Because they say McDonald's, McDonaldo, or Google it, something like that.
Yeah.
And if you just Google like can Japanese pronunciate this type of English word or something like that, there are tons of videos. And I've also made tons of videos regards to it, but I wanted to make a little twist because it's the same thing over and over again. And then I was watching Instagram Reels, and then a video popped up, and it was a Japanese person, an English native speaker, Japanese English native speaker, and they all had their headphones on. And then it was the telephone game.
Oh.
But it was Japanese and the native speaker also said back to the Japanese person.
But it wouldn't, yeah.
So this went all chaos, and I was like, this is it. This is entertaining. So I was like, okay, but how would I make it into a twist? Because I can't completely copy it. I was like, what should I do? Like, what can I add on to it to make it more original and new that people will like it? So what I decided to do was I decided to bring countries that was famous for not being able to speak English.
Oh.
So which was Japan, Italy, France, and Spain.
Very strong accent.
With very strong accent, and who's known to not be fluent in English. Wait, I think I had an Italian. Oh, sorry, I had an Italian person in there as well. I think
You did.
And so that's how it, like, I got it. And I had English person at the end. And my goal was I wanted to see how they changed the sounds. Because one country could have sound A, but the other country does not have sound A.
Yeah.
So the A would sound like a Z in this country.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how it changed. And it worked. When I first made the video, everybody was like, hey, it's funny, but I don't think it's going to make it. But I think that video got like 1.5 million views, I think.
Yeah. Because even when you put two Spanish people on both ends, if they have two different dialects, the L and the R won't sound the same, you know?
So I wanted to see how each country
That's smart.
changed the thing. But so I wanted to see how it changed, how the accent changed. And then I realized no one's going to get it right. Because if you're not a native speaker, or if you're not able to speak up to that certain point, no matter how hard you try, it's not going to work. So I'd use tongue twisters.
To make it even worse than it already is.
That's why for those who doesn't know the behind story about this, every time I talk to the idols or I talk to the cast member before I shoot the telephone game, I tell them, don't try, because you're going to get it wrong anyways. Because you're going to get it wrong anyways.
Yeah.
Because this is built to get it wrong anyways. Because I want to see how a certain sound sounds in your country and how that sounds like to the other, and see how it formulates.
It should be one of the games in Squid Games, man.
Actually, that could...
They're going to fail every single time.
It's just to kill people. And then I did that for a while, and I think it was a successful series for a bit, but then, once it gets too much, it kind of fades down. So I added on the hint section.
Okay.
Where the other K-pop members who would sit on the side watch it, so I would get their reactions as well. And then I would give them the words. But since it's in a different language, it's really hard for them to read it. And I thought that was also interesting as well, because they could guess what it sounds like.
It's very smart.
Yeah, so that's how I think I tried to make it more original by adding new sources in it, so.
But it's sort of like a development process. It doesn't happen like instantly. You can always upgrade or refine your work, but...
Yeah, that's what I think about media or videos in general. Like, because in Korea, there are new programs, new shows, and they're like, wow, this is so entertaining. This is so new. But if you just Google, like even for the major broadcasting studio, if you just Google a little bit, you could see the reference. I would give you like a good example would be, there's a program called 아침 먹고 가 in Korea. So what happens is the MC sneaks into people's apartment, and he wakes that person's up, gives them breakfast, and have a talk show at the host's house.
Oh, wow.
That he barged into.
He just randomly goes into people's houses?
Of course, there would be like
Some
agreements
agreement.
before, like. So the thing is, they don't know when that person is coming. Only the manager does. So the manager opens the door, and the MC goes into the house and wakes the person up. That's the program.
Wild ideas.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that they took the reference from the video that I know of. I'm not saying that. Please put that in the video. I'm not saying that. But there's a very similar content in the UK where the host goes into the person's house and asks them quizzes. I forgot what that was called. But there's a lot of memes about a celebrity in the UK accidentally farted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was shocked or and he was laughing comfortably in his bed or something like that. Like these kind of things. Like it's new.
Yeah.
But it can't be new. Do Do you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna get so much backlash for saying this.
No, but that's right. That's the thing that's going on nowadays. I mean, like we all know that long form videos are kind of, they're still around, but you have to make them interesting enough for viewers to stay. That's why people are like, there's so much more TikTok creators, real creators, like content creators right now. And essentially what they do is just take the same trend, shift it to another like aspect.
Yeah, so I think that's new. So when people say that, oh, I know this, I saw this from somebody, so it's not new or original. I used to think like that, but now I would debate on it. When you first saw it and when you're like, oh, I could see the reference, but it's still new, I think that's original, in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so I have a few questions.
Yes, please.
Do you have a favorite project or idols that you've worked with that stood out for being super engaged with your concepts and ideas?
Well, let's see.
Like any memorable?
I
feel like every project must be so fun though.
It was very fun for me, actually, but the telephone game was extremely fun. Actually, oh, I could say about this. There's a group called Nowadays.
Nowadays?
From Cube Entertainment, and we shot Hindi with them.
Oh.
Telephone game Hindi version. Yuki was in it. And I forgot who the other Indian girl was, but it was Nupur and Yuki. They were in it. And it was pre-debut. They didn't debut yet, but we already shot. So after they debuted, we released the video. So it was, so for me, that was very big at first. I was like, oh my God, like I got to shoot an idol who didn't debut yet from one of the big major companies in Korea. And when they shot, they had so much fun that they're like, can we do one more?
Oh.
They said, can we try one more?
And mind you, like when I first shot with you, I think All Hours was there since morning, right?
No. They
like they had another video shot as well.
true,
before.
but they were there for 4 hours.
Oh.
We never shot more than 4 hours actually. 3
Okay.
videos in 4 hours.
Okay.
That's crazy. But yeah,
You guys are crazy then.
That's how crazy I was.
Alcoholics, man.
But so they said, can we try one more? And I was like, yes. So we did it, and that was the funniest one.
Ah.
So I kind of changed the orders. I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna tell you how I changed it because I'm telling you the secret.
Mastermind.
Yeah, but I changed the orders of the sentences.
So Nowadays had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was.
Shooting that.
And I also really liked 8-Turn.
Okay. Oh yeah.
8-Turn was a great team. I really enjoyed working with them to a point that I created a show with them called Rank It.
Ooh.
It didn't go as well as I planned, but they were so nice and so good enough for me to considerate them to work my first ever project.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I always think to myself, like, what if with my experience now working in the entertainment industry, because now I work with the K-pop idol, and I see how the business rolls. Because I was on YouTube, but now I'm on Idol.
Industry.
Yeah. So it's a little different. Turns out it's a little different. But since I got to get the experience of the best of both worlds, I now think to myself, what if now I work with them and do the same project, but a little bit differently than I used to do?
Yeah.
I wonder how it would turn out.
You're essentially, because most of the idols, I think the side content that comes out makes up for, like their exposure, their virality.
Yeah.
So it plays such a huge role nowadays. And you coming back from that multicultural background and being the PD is just, it's a huge benefit.
Yeah, so I actually want to work with them again on the different project that I am actually considering of. But I want, before I make the proposal, I kind of need money. So I'm trying to figure out how I could fix that. But yeah, 8 turn was great. They were so kind enough that the other coworkers who helped me out on the set was like, they are really polite. They're really kind. You should work with them a little bit more. And I'm like, I know. Like, they are amazing. So I ended up calling Chaeyoon and Minho for... I couldn't bring all of them, but I chose 2 of them to shoot a original content from Awesome World. And I think I shoot them with like 8 times, I think. So they were the most idols that I shot with so far, besides the current idol that I'm working with.
Very exciting stuff, but I'm sure it comes up with a lot of work stress, because we all know that the working culture here in South Korea is a bit much more intense than other parts of the world. So give us a little outlook, and especially being in the entertainment industry is, I've heard that it's a lot more intense than other industries.
I think it's how you see it.
Okay.
My previous job was intense for sure because it was focused on the results. But they also did not like their workers working late for many other reasons. So whenever I would be working late and my boss saw me at like 11 p.m. in front of my computer editing, because I did that because I loved it. Really. Like, everyone's going home. I did it because I really enjoyed the content I made. So I would be like late at night, like doing it by myself. And when my boss saw me do that, he would be like, Junho, please go home. You need to rest.
Yeah.
So high respects on him for that. But it was very draining because it was a results kind of situation. So he would be like, Junho, you should go home and rest. I know you're working hard for me. Thank you. But if the results are not there, he'd be like, but your results are not there. And he would talk to me a lot about some things that should change. But I didn't bunch to move. I just stayed where I was like, just give me a few more shoots. I'll prove it to you.
Yeah,
You know?
that's essentially your personality, you as a person also.
I think so. And then the new company that I'm working at right now, the coworkers and the boss, which is the idol, he's amazing. The boss, the vice president, and the manager, we're all amazing. It feels like we're in high school. Because we're all guys near the same age.
Feels collaborative.
Very. And, you know, we help each other out. Of course, there are some struggles, not gonna lie. Because I haven't really was a full-time editor before. I wasn't. I mostly did the rough edits, and I would give that rough edit to the editor. They would do the subtitles and everything. I'm horrible with spelling in Korean. And so this kind of thing is something that I had to work on.
It needs a lot of...
It needs a lot of approval. So I feel very sorry for them because they have to go and proofread everything I write. But like starting from that and starting from A to Z, I had to do a lot of stuff. So like even today, it's a holiday. After this shoot, I'm going to go there and edit a little bit more because there's some things I need to do. But it is a good company. They are very nice. They are very giving. So I have a high respect on them as well. So I think it depends on how you see it and how you put yourself in it. And yes, Korea is intense. So if you are coming to Korea to work, think. Really think.
If you're coming to Korea to study, think.
That as well. No,
not as much.
Not as much, no.
But if you want to come work here,
think. T-H-I-N-K. I almost say T-H-I-C-K. That's thick.
think.
See how bad I'm at spelling?
Thick.
Yeah. I mean, Korea's working environment it depends on how you make it. You know? If you really enjoy it and if you really like it, like what you're doing, Korea could be a good opportunity because Korea is very fast. So on any of the things you want to do, if you come here, you will be learning things a lot, which is going to be good for you in the end. But in the end, you're going to be stressed as much as you work. But I think it's profiling, like,
I think also because I feel
Fulfilling.
like you're someone who, like, just listening to you talk, you're someone who is passionate about what you're doing, number one, and you'd always want to progress. If people are a little bit sensitive to criticism or take things very personally, it can be very challenging to work
That's true.
in
That-
almost any environment, but especially in Korea, I think you have to be a little bit more stubborn and, like, be focused on, improving yourself.
That is true.
That
That
can
is true.
help.
But the problem with me, though, is I'm a debater.
Yeah, so you get your way around.
No, I fight. That's what I'm trying to say. I fight. Now I don't because I'm not in charge of, like, I'm not as in charge that I was in the past. But when I was in charge,
Yeah.
and if I got a feedback, and if I didn't understand that feedback, I would have fought. Like, I had a conversation with the leader of the team till like 2 a.m. in the morning
Oh,
on why you're wrong, and I'm still right.
period.
But it was this was a funny way to put it. But if I summarize it a little bit more deeply, it was he said, "Hey, yo, the channel is not doing as great as it used to be. I think you should fix this, and this, and that." I was like, "Okay, cool, but can I ask you, what are the standards that you put in to make that awesome world?" Let me take the awesome world out. Just that my channel right now that I'm working on is not doing a great job. And he said, blah, this and blah, blah, this, that. And I'm like, did you check the YouTube algorithm, the YouTube studio? Because just by going in there, you could see that what you're saying is kind of wrong.
Oh.
Because you said something like, oh, it's like the duration is like 4 minutes. I'm like, no, it's 7 actually. And then so it started with that, and then in the end, it was about the format that he didn't like, but he kind of went roundabout. It was a roundabout. So for him, because the format was not in the thought process of what he had, he thought it was what he was trying to say was it was lacking for him. But he didn't say it directly like that. He put in some other factors that kind of went around the topic.
Yeah.
And for me, I would fight.
Yeah, because you're essentially saying that this whole thing is not working out
That's how I
when there's this problem.
That's how I felt. So, but later on, since we fought, and when I quit, we had a drink, and I said, I'm sorry for being a badass. But yeah, yes, I'm sorry. I said I understand now, because I dropped that thing off. I resaw it. I resaw my videos that I've made. I see the mistakes I've made, and I understand where he was coming from. But I still stand by the chances that he should have been more straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just be honest about your feelings, like.
But to be fair, he could argue that he was honest. Maybe I wasn't ready to listen.
It's okay. I think sometimes what's your very Korean, I think it's a very Korean question, but what's your MBTI?
Oh, mine is ENFP.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I think it might change to I a little bit. Because after, like, this shooting, if you shoot with, for me, my minimum was like 7
Okay.
every time I shoot.
Yeah.
So, and think about it. When I was working on World Friends, it was just the foreigners and max 7. But when I started Awesome World and started to get idols involved, it's the idol group has like 5 to 7 of them. I have tons of different people from tons of different countries. Not tons, but like I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. In this room, idol in that room, and the manager, the stylist, and everybody else who's related with the idols. So if you see the set, it's a small room with so many people. And because we have the camera guy here too, and we have our team as well, and it's just crazy. Yeah, so I have to meet new people every day or every week at least. So it got a little draining.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a little bit more I than E now.
Maybe you're an ambivert.
True, but the fun fact is I've been going out to Itaewon 3 days in a row. So I'm still an extrovert. I just needed my time.
Where do you like going out usually?
So I have a friend who I met through this lovely shootings. His name is Ryan. Shout out to Ryan.
Ryan.
He goes to party in Itaewon a lot. And I started to party with him like through 3 months ago, I think. And ever since I did, I went to Itaewon every Friday or Saturday asking, hey, are you going to be in Itaewon today?
Aww.
Because I want to join.
Is it a way like to stress relief from the week?
I think so. I think every Friday, I feel like
Friday.
I deserve a party. We all deserve a party, guys. We all do.
Yeah, when you work this hard.
I mean, I think the party could be defined in how different it is. If you're an introvert, a party could be a beer at your house by yourself. That's your party. My party is shaking my ass off. That's my party.
What do you like listening to?
I listen to everything actually. I'm not a big rap fan though, or heavy metals.
Okay.
Besides that, I think I listen to any song that is catchy for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but after I started working with the K-pop industry, I did tend to listen to more K-pop songs though, which I'm not really proudly to say. Because I thought I grew up. Like I thought
got out of that phase.
Yeah, I thought I graduated the K.
Like, G.
Yeah, that was me. That was me in middle school. Like G, baby. And then now I'm going. I got another with Flash. And I thought I wouldn't do that. Because there's the middle. Like it's G and with Flash, and in this middle is gone. Because I thought I graduated after Girls' Generation. And now I'm like. Because, you know, in Itaewon, like Waikiki Paradise, I don't know if I could say it, like in those kind of places, they put like Whiplash or Patu. It's crazy.
So
But yeah.
if you want to find out where he is,
Friday night,
Itaewon,
12 a.m., gotta be awake.
Don't ask about work.
Oh, I will smack you.
I think you've interacted with so many people from like various cultures, you know. What do you think is the biggest misconception that Koreans might have about foreigners? And this is a very like typical question, but you know, from someone who has been shooting these multicultural videos.
If I'm being honest, shooting this, stereotypes are kind of there. It's really funny. It's really fun. Like for example, French people are always late, just a little bit late. Indians too. Not lying. So sometimes I would say if the actual shoot is at like 3, people who I know is gonna arrive early, I would say I'll just come by at 2:50. People I know who's not gonna arrive early, I would be like, oh, the shoot it starts at 2:30, so come by 2:20. And eventually the shoot starts at 3.
That's very nice of you, though.
I mean,
considerate and smart.
Yeah, I mean, but then I do call them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that sense, like let's say a certain country is famous for being late, they're mostly late on set.
Okay.
Not all the time, or like the Nordics are. Oh, this is actually interesting. I had a shoot when I shot with Latinas.
Yeah.
And the Nordics. And Nordics, as you all know, they're quiet and calm, and you know, they are. It's not like wow, you know. But I had a shoot with just Latinas. Oh my God, I sweared my ass off.
You what?
I swore a lot, and I had an idol in front of me, and I'm like, "Fuck you guys, shut up, please."
Oh.
But because we were friends, though.
Yeah.
Because you know me, like at shoot, because we're friends.
Very, yeah.
It's a very friendly environment. We would be like, because I'm like, bitch, please shut up, and she goes like, yes, queen, and like she would.
It's a lively like.
And I'm like, girl, please, move this way. What I was trying to say was though, so stereotypes are kind of there.
True. Yeah. To some extent.
To some extent, but in the 6 to 7 Latinas, there was a very introverted girl who was like the Nordic girls.
Oh.
And there are some Nordic girls who are like Latinas, outgoing and everything.
Very, yeah.
So I think this applies to anybody. Just stereotypes are stereotypes that could be considered. I think it's just a miscarriage. Not miscarriage.
Who's carrying a baby out here, man?
Oh, that's crazy. I see. English is not Englishing today, is it?
You're full on papa right now when you're in the studio.
You know, if this goes into shorts,
Papa of 6 Latinas and Nordics, and
if you guys make this into a meme, please tag me so I could see it. But yeah, I think, I don't think this just applies to Korean. I think this applies to anybody in the world. Stereotypes are stereotypes. It doesn't define a person.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't see a person for this stereotypes, though. But as a joke, I did say, sometimes if I get very angry,
you will pull out the card. You're not afraid.
I will fight you. I think there was only one time I kind of scrolled.
You scolded someone.
Not like, more like I had to become like the father figure.
That's what I said, Papa.
Yeah, because because here's the thing: when you shoot with idols, it's not necessarily right to ask for their personal Instagram account or personal account or anything, because technically they might not have one, or it's not. I think it's like the rule, like not non-said rule.
But do people do that?
There was somebody who actually did that. There was.
Why? How clueless do you have to be?
So I was talking to somebody else, but then I could see the manager trying to stop this person from talking to the artist about their personal thing. But the manager couldn't speak English. And I saw it later on, and I'm like, yo, no. Come here now. And he thanked me, and I apologized for not being able to handle this beforehand. And he said it was okay. Because, you know, it's different. If the idol comes up to you first and let's be friends, and I think it's a different situation.
They're in hot water.
Not in that sense. It's just more like they are a persona that's shown. Right? And I think their private life should be protected in a way. If you go to shoots and people ask for your personal information every single time, then I think that person won't even have a private and a personal life. Yeah. Sorry, that's the same thing. They don't have a private life.
And a public life.
Yeah, in a public That's crazy.
No.
Yeah, so I do understand their perspective, because I've seen some cases, I've heard some cases that's really shocking.
It's not cool, guys. Don't do that. Wow. Okay. And have you seen some instances where foreigners get, or like have this sort of misconception about Koreans?
I think
a lot of the times.
Yeah, most of the times, honestly, because I think, I won't say it's misconception. I would say it's the understanding of what they have with Koreans, with the given experience of they had in the country. So I think you could say that they have a thought that could seem like a misconception. But it's like this, like as a Korean, I understand how the Korean person reacted or acted with the given circumstances that happened in that specific situation. And I understand how the foreigners might take it, because that's not how they would do it in their country. Or that is considered rude in the global standard. So I won't say it's a misconception. I would just say it's an experience
It's an experience.
and how they see it. I can't
That's
really.
well put.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I could like pinpoint to what situation there that happened.
You have built a name for yourself.
Oh, that's a strong.
You have. I think for someone to be graduating and be doing so much and making, contributing to some difference on the internet,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
and bridging cultures,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What's next on your list? And can you tease any big projects that may be up?
Oh yeah, definitely. I could tease up to some point. So I currently want to do the culture exchange video again because I think that's a good strength of mine, and I have a lot of friends who's interested in doing it. So I do have a channel right now called The Host Squad. I might change the name
The
because
what?
my name is Junho, right? So okay. So my TikTok ID. So this is how I like to play with English. So my TikTok ID is June the Ho. And whenever I explain my name to somebody I met for the first time who speaks English, because it's really difficult to memorize the name in a different language. So I go like, okay, so do you know the month June? And he's like, yeah. Do you know a hoe? He's like, yeah, I know a hoe. Like, I know what a hoe is. All right, cool. My name is June Ho without E's. Because I don't have the E in the name. So I'm not really a hoe, but I'm a hoe. So, so I would make that pun. And if I say that, it just catches on really fast,
Very smart.
Yeah, good marketing. But
My God.
so I use that as my TikTok ID, and so I named myself June the Ho, and I kind of liked it. It's catchy. So I was like Ho Squad,
Yeah.
but I came to a conclusion that it could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So I might change the name, but right now it's
Ho
called
Squad.
for now it's called Ho Squad. But I might change it to Yappers or something like that.
I like Ho Squad. It's catchy.
I think it's catchy for me as well. But I did hear some feedbacks from people saying that, but people might take it differently.
Like, what would they be expecting to see on your YouTube channel?
Ho. So I also thought like if I'm gonna expand this to like how I did in the past, I also have to make the name kind of more PG to be more approval.
Yeah.
So I've tested some videos. It's horrible. It's not like it's not like the video I used to make. It was all shoot by phone. The subtitles are different. But I just tested out. I wanted to test some things out, and the test worked.
It did.
A little bit, yeah. And so I actually also have some people I know who works on this industry, and we're talking about it.
So yeah, you guys just have to go to.
Please come, yeah.
Ho Squad.
Come to Ho Squad. It could change. The name could change, but it's gonna roll soon.
We're very excited about that.
Yeah. And there's one targeted towards Korean as well. So
That's nice.
there's 2 projects that I'm thinking of doing. Since I am currently working at the moment, I am thinking of what my next step should be.
What your next step should be.
Is it to maintain here a little bit, or should I, like, because this is a constant thought that comes in my head right now is my boss, who is currently an idol, he is an inspiring man. He really is. Is he annoying? Yes, because he's my boss. But if he was a friend, I would consider him as someone that's very, very inspiring. I learn a lot from him, and what I wanted to say was he worked so hard to get his business started and create what he dreams, right? And right now I'm working for him or I would say I'm working with him because he treats me very nicely, it really hurts me to see that he's working his hard ass, not hard ass, but like,
I'll bleep that out.
he's still my boss. He's working his ass off. That's
Okay.
he's working his ass off to proceed what he dreams. He tries and tries and tries, and I'm sitting in the front of the line looking at it. And whenever he accomplishes something new and more, it triggers me.
In the sense of?
In the sense of, I also have dreams that I want to accomplish. I also want to establish these kind of things.
Yeah.
But so sometimes when I drink with my friends, I say, it's so great that I got to meet with him because it triggers me.
Yeah.
But it also kind of hurts me in a way because I'm like, I want to do my thing as well. And this had because he recently had a concert in I think September, or something like that. And now he's in the US touring. And when I saw him this thought first really hit me on September. I started working in July, and the first 2 months it was crazy. Like I went to Saipan like 2 weeks after I got into the job because he was shooting a music video. So it just like it flew. And then he went to like Music Bank and all these places, and I followed him along. So for like a month I didn't really know what I was doing. Sorry, 2 months. And then in September I've learned that he's having a concert on his own. And he's the one who started from A to Z.
And you could see it happening right
I could
there.
see it happening right there. Yeah. So that is when it really hit me. The first 2 months, I'm like, this is so confusing. I don't know what's happening. And then when I realized that he was starting up his own concert and the things and the process that he went through and the ideas and the ethics that he has with his work is shown in the concert, that hit me so hard. That really changed the way of how I should, work.
And what you could essentially be moving towards in your life.
It was like, right? I want to be like that guy. So every time
everybody go to the Host Squad concert, which may be possible one day. Maybe not like but like a.
Actually, like a talk concert could be, I might able to sing sometimes, but it really inspired me a lot. And every time I'm at work and I'm editing his videos, part of me is like, should I be doing this right now? Because I also have something that I want to pursue in my life as well. But right now I decided to put myself, I need to learn though. So I'm learning, and I feel like soon, I'll be at a state where I'm like, I think I learned enough.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so, and I think it's going to be soon. I don't know how soon it's going to be, but I think it's going to be soon.
Do you believe in spirituality or something like that? Like, do you feel energy of I feel like that's what's coming to me, but right now I'm on that path, just not there yet, but it's coming.
I could see it coming, yeah. Because I know, the thing about me is if something is in my mind, I tend to say it to people.
Okay.
And eventually I do it. And I came to a conclusion that I've been talking about this quite a lot, of how this artist inspired me and the goals that I want to achieve. Turns out I've said it quite enough to a point where I kind of realized to myself, this is going to happen anytime soon. Because when I decided to quit my previous job, I said that a lot to a lot of people.
You kind of manifested it.
Yeah, I kind of was like, I want to quit. I'm going to quit. I'm looking for a job. La, da, 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 da. And then out of nowhere, the guy, my current boss, was like, you want to work with me? Let's go. Left in 2 weeks. Left. So
Energies are real, man.
I have religion.
Yeah, religion, but
So for me, I think God has a path for me.
Yeah.
And I think my strength is if I have something in my mind, I go. and try to take and achieve it. So that's how I moved to a different company right now, to the company that I'm here right now. And I could see that me talking about it consistently,
Is coming into life.
yeah, so I feel like it's gonna happen. Just don't know when. Could be anytime soon. Could be a little bit later, but we'll see.
That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and maybe next time I'll be sitting in that chair and interviewing Aku.
I love that. You know, we've talked so much about your career. We've talked so much about your multicultural background. I say this to almost every guest of mine, but I only tend to bring very inspirational podcasts, like people on this podcast. So definitely you're very inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sure you've had your fair share of struggles and challenges while breaking into this industry or breaking into a certain career path you wanted to pursue. But I think at some point you were also pretty confused at what you were getting into.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for people who would like to get into something of this niche?
I think working here and seeing a lot of different people who eventually got what they achieved. This applies for me as well. Is in Korea we say 버텨, which means like don't quit. Like this comes from my experience. My mom and dad never, like, if I say it's a struggle, they're like, everyone struggled. Do you think it's not gonna be the same struggle if you change a job? You're gonna have the same struggle. But when I first got the job at my previous job, I said job too much, but anyways, at my previous work, for 3 months, I was in probation. Like, I couldn't actually become the employee because every month they were like, you were good, but not to a point that you, like, I would give you the paper. Every month they did that to me. And they, like, I had a guy who came up to me because I was new and I was getting these messages from all these different people. So during shoot, I would be like replying really quick. And this one guy came up to me and be like, dude, do you think you could multitask? Dude, you ain't nothing. Like, you think you could do it, but you can't. So why are you texting in my shoot? You should focus. What's wrong with you? And like, put me down. Tell me all these different things that makes my ego, like,
Self-esteem.
It was gone for a while. So to a point where I actually, in my last month, I got a job at an English academy in my hometown because I taught English before coming to Seoul, and the payment was okay. So my parents were like, if this is too hard, just come down, and you could try your YouTube thing on your own because you learned a little bit in 3 months. I'm like, yeah, but then this is why I think God has a path for me. At that 3rd month, the person who was in charge of one of the channels that I've been working on quit. So they needed somebody to be on the spot right away. And with all other things considered, I think, the best option that my previous company had. So I got the job. So I decided not to go to the English Academy, and that's how I started, like, all the channels that I've worked so far. And that is the first, not the first, but like that was one of the times that I realized that 버티자, like, it's, you know, let's wait for the wave to pass. And then after that, I thrived a little bit, and then I've always dreamt of working with idols because I was always interested in the Korean entertainment industry. And now I am working with one of the biggest companies. I meet idols that I thought I would never see in my life. I get contact. I have a few of their contacts, and I look at myself like, if I want to do it, if you proceed it, you're gonna get it. You will eventually achieve it. You just need to know how to let the wave pass.
I think that's what I got out of this conversation as well. Your personality is quite, you don't back down very easily, which is amazing.
you.
And I think to stay persevering on that one thing is quite difficult, but I'm sure our viewers today can learn a lot of things from your personality. So.
Yeah, but my personality is not always the great.
Who is perfect? No one.
That's true. But yeah, I think today talking kind of made me reflect a little bit about myself as well.
You're a really cool person.
Oh, you too, Aku.
Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
No, thank you.
So grateful. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed PD Junho's stories and whatever he had to share today. If you're interested in listening to more things like this, just stay tuned. Bye, guys.